Last year I was at a retreat, and the facilitator asked the question, what lie did you tell yourself? I couldn't come up with an answer. And I thought, and I thought, and I thought. And to be quite honest, one of the things that I believe is I'm very ambitious. But also at the same time, I am lazy. And I don't know how many of you believe that you are lazy. But I'll proudly stand here and say that I have a lazy bone. Over the past year, I've been trying to ponder and ponder and ponder. What is the quickest way to get success? To move out of the chains of corporate and to have the freedom and flexibility that I want, that I need. Now, when I was a kid, I was a supreme athlete. The first time I ran 100 meters, I won. 200 meters, I won. 400 meters, I won. I was a provincial champ in the 100, 200, and 400 meters in athletics. But at the same time, unfortunately, I wasn't very academically strong. Now, I remember my final year of matric. We had an oral exam. And my English teacher said to me, at the age of 18, for someone that speaks great English, your written English is very bad. This is in front of all my classmates. The unfortunate thing is I had an injury, and therefore that dream, that thing that came to me of sports, had vanished. But life took a different turn. I went to university, and I can say that I proudly have 3 degrees, including a master's. And I've probably never finished a book. Now, in my family, I'm originally from Ghana. My parents came to South Africa for a better life. And their belief is that education is the be it and be all. Now, when I look at my mother's family and my father's family jointly together, there are 16 kids. 5 of them are doctors, including my father, who is a veterinary surgeon. He only had to go to school for 4 years to become a doctor. But now, the wealthiest person and the most successful, if we use wealth as a measure, is a person who only has a high school degree. He's a millionaire in dollars. So is education the key to success? Now there's this great South African that I like, Trevor Noah. I have the biggest crush on him. This guy has a matric degree, But when you listen to him and the intelligence that he has commanded the world stage, arguing with the most powerful man in this world. This man was born in Soweto. As some people say, a crime. Single mother. But now he's on the global stage, dominating in circumstances that he should not be born. Therefore, should our circumstances define who we are and what we become? We have our former president, Jacob Zuma. In the beginning, 3 billion. But this man only has a grade 4 degree. I used to always argue with my mother, what is wrong with that? He has been able to make something from that to circumstances. And what makes him great? The ANC just lost power because this man decided to do something different. And has changed. But all he has is a grade 4 degree. What makes him great? Now, South Africa has become a movie. We have this guy called Thabo Bester, and we have this guy called Kat Matlala. 2 men who were born out of unfortunate circumstances and now have taken South Africa to another level. Thabo Bester, we have our Bonnie and Clyde with Nadipa. We have Kat. In South Africa, we have a cartel. Things that we see on in the movies. But these are men who don't have any formal education, but they've been able to make millions. Maybe not through the right path, but they did not let their circumstances define who they are and what they achieve. And I'm not condoning anything in that aspect of things, but we all have some form of inherent gift that we need to be able to tap into. As I said, I'm an athlete, right? Olympic athlete, Wade van Niekerk, 400-meter champion in South Africa, in Free State. Then we have Caster Semenya. Circumstances are different, she's had great challenges. Olympic 800-meter athlete in South Africa. Then we have Akani Simbine, Olympian, always coming forth. But these people have been able to define and change things. And when I reflect on these three individuals, when I was a kid, I used to tell my parents, I want to go to America. I want to go to America. Every holiday we'll sit, have a conversation. My father would try and convince me why I should not go to America. It's not a great place, etc., etc. My friend went there, and I'm like, your friend and I, we have different personalities. How are we comparing the two of us? But as I've grown older, I've come to realize that sometimes it's not just about our environment. Our environment does not determine our success. I've seen through work, there's a Harvard MBA graduate who's reporting to someone with a high school degree. To become a data scientist in South Africa, you need a master's in maths, science, applied maths. But yet that person with a PhD is reporting to someone with a degree or even a high school diploma. Therefore, what defines success? What formula do we need to take to become successful? Is there a formula to success? Is there a formula to happiness? Can someone please tell me what this formula is? Because what I was told and what I'm seeing are maybe slightly different. So Leon, can you please tell me what is the formula to life? He doesn't know. No. Andrea, what is the formula to life? I leave you all with this question. And please let me know what is